Welcome to the Okefenokee Heritage Center once again. As we have mentioned before in a couple of our YouTubes, we have various guilds within the Heritage Center. One of the guilds that is active is the Photography Guild. And what we're going to do this evening is we have Miss Phyllis Perry with us, and she's going to present something about flower photography, which I don't know a thing in the world about, which ought to be very interesting. And if you're a photographer, I think you'll find challenging to try to do any kind of specific type of photography. So I hope that we'll come away much more learned. Thank you, Phyllis.
All righty. And I am Phyllis Perry, and we're going to talk about doing flower photography.
I was saying that same thing the other day. What kind of do?
Okay. Whether you're growing wild flowers in the field or prairie, flowers are all around us to showcase its beauty. I mean, you have flowers everywhere in your yard, whether you're planting them or not. They are willing subjects to take because they do not change. I mean, they blow and they bend and they die, but basically they stay the same. Not all flowers are created equally. As with any type of photography, there are general rules and guidelines and tips and tricks to make the best images possible. The basic idea is to make our photos stand out from the rest, to create something unique and inspiring. So, do many of you like taking flowers? Mm-hmm. Okay. When you are photographing outdoors, you will meet all kinds of weather conditions. On bright sunny days, you have to consider the sunlight. And then you use fill-in flash to illuminate the subject to keep the fore and background balance. You can use different things to help you with that, like reflectors, and they also work well against wind. But sometimes when you're taking a picture and the wind is blowing and it's moving, you can use a deflector to kind of hold it. So if you're ready to improve your photos, let's get started. And by the way, all the flower pictures I have taken myself, so I didn't have to use anyone else's.
Nice.
Location isn't everything. You don't need to travel to any exotic place to take pictures. You can go into your backyard, which this was growing. I had a big oak tree in my yard, and for some reason mushrooms like growing on it, so I took the mushrooms, took pictures right there in my yard. One of the nice things about flower photography, I do talk fast, so if I need to slow down or you need to ask questions, please let me know. One of the nice things about flower photography is you don't have to leave home or travel to some exotic location to take flowers. The flower garden in your backyard might be a good place to start, and my mom has a flower garden, and so I'm at her house all the time taking pictures. Most of these pictures probably came out of her yard. Or you can go to the city park down the street, or perhaps there's a botanical garden in your area. But flowers can be found everywhere, and so if that's the type of photography you want to do, you can get lots of practice, and there's no excuse for shooting. So you can get out and start shooting. Timing. The best time to take photos is before and after sunrise in the morning, or around sunset time in the evening. This is when you can get the ideal light. As long as it is light outside, you can take some very nice pictures. On cloudy days or overcast days, you get, I guess what you call that muted type color, where it's not so harsh. To me, it seemed like just the right time. Okay, any questions on that? And then mind the background. I kind of messed this one up, but I'm going to try to explain it to you. You see, this was in my yard, and this is my grill, and I thought I had another picture of when I took the rose by itself, but you want to take clutter out of your pictures when you're doing your floral pictures to make them stand out. And like I say, that was the grill, and I didn't mean to put Mr. Grill in there. But you should mind your background. because most of the time that messes up your flower. You need also, when you're taking the flower background, the flower, make sure that the black background is something that will complement your picture. You know, so I probably should have cut that out, and I think you can see on the side I had some more flowers on this side. Maybe focus the flower with some leaves or whatever around that way. Okay, this one is keep your subjects in focus. It didn't say, but I tried to take different photos where I can just try to get them in focus, and either sometimes blur like the background. Like I said, my mom has a big garden and she has all types of ornaments in her yard with her flowers, so I thought that was cute to do the flowers with the swan in the bag. That one was taken at the swamp, that lone leaf in the water, and this is my strange rose bush that does something, and the background is the reason I call it does something. It does, and the reason I'm gonna call it strange because I bought a rose bush and it's the red rose bush. A couple of years later, it started doing multiple colors, so it does lavender sometimes, and it'll do a rose sometimes. And sometimes it'll do a coral all off of one bush.
I love that.
So I don't know what kind it is. But the background that I was talking about you can do, that's the screen off my back porch. This one's keep your photos in focus. It can be challenging to keep your photos in focus. Any of you all do macro shots up close? You haven't? Is it something that you?
I just haven't done much with
Oh,
it.
okay. Your lens allows you to change the depth of field to improve focusing. Oh, okay. Try using single point focusing when taking flowers. This allows you to pinpoint exactly which part of the subject you want to focus. You can control how deep or shallow the focus is by choosing the appropriate f number. Select a smaller aperture such as a f6 or f8. Doing so will create a deeper depth of field but still keep the background blurry enough and the picture sharp. Try to minimize shake. Photographing flowers is not recommended when it's windy. A small breeze alone could throw off your focus, but you can use, like I said, a reflector to change it. Compose your shots like photographs. And I don't know why it's a little off, but I'm seeing it. Yeah, compose your shots like photographs. Now this previous picture was also the one that was going with keeping things in focus. And those are some more shots. I actually laid on the ground to take the little mushrooms. They were very small mushrooms going right off my porch. All these was very small things that I had to get up close and use that micro shot that I was telling you about. Any questions? Comments?
Doing good.
Compose your shots like photographs. So, think carefully about composition and placement. The way you compose your photos of flowers can enhance the overall look. Look for a flower's unique features. I thought that flower, the little stamen in the middle, I thought that was very unique. And so that's what I focused on. Focus on the beautiful parts of the flower, such as the petal or stamen. You should also use your composition guides, such as rule of thirds. Do any of you shoot with those, with that on? You do? Still confused.
He was here last time.
Oh, okay. This will make your image look balanced. Mr. Scott, what could I have done any better with that?
Something was beautiful.
Even with the rule of thirds, You know, I don't think I
Rules are
knew
meant to be
that.
broken. I mean,
Yeah.
when you have one subject,
Uh-huh.
placing it right in the center, it's perfectly acceptable. It was beautiful.
Okay, thank you. Don't just stick to eye level shots. Strive to be unique and try different angles. You may want to shoot from a lower or higher angle. You know, if you want to stand up and maybe shoot, or like I say, if you want to get down and dirty, lay in the grass or lay in the dirt. Isolate your subject. Concentrate on individual flowers. So this was, I had a time getting that flower, but having all the other ones, and I found a single flower, the one on the top, and then that rose with all the leaves around it, that caught my attention. So I isolated that flower so I can get it right in the middle of the flowers. Focus through another flower. You know, sometimes when you see two flowers back to back, you have to try to make the back image blurry so that, to me, when I was photographing that, I kept seeing both flowers, but I wanted to focus and make one flower more blurry so that the other one stood out more. Any questions on that one? I told you I would be through fast.
Well, if we don't know nothing, we can't ask no question. You're educating us.
Add water to
You have to know
To
something to
add
ask
drama.
questions.
Yeah. Now, actually, I caught this picture with the rain, but you can also take a water bottle and put on your flowers or whatever subject you want to give it more drama. It just, now see that, this, I showed you the red rose. This is when it came out another color. That
That's off
same
the
bush.
same bush.
Same
Off
plant.
the same bush.
Really?
Yes, that's another.
I would love to have a rose like that.
It's crazy. It's
You
pretty
just
crazy.
never know what color you're gonna get.
Right. And some more drama. It was raining right outside my garage, and I thought the crepe myrtle would be nice. And the acorn was just sitting in the water, and I took a picture of it also. So I thought, you know, adding the different elements make you have different dramatic effects on your pictures. Show some movement. Just because the wind is blowing doesn't mean that you have to set up a wind block attempt. I didn't get any pictures for this one. I thought I had it enough, but you can show movement by, I think, slowing down your shutter speed. And depending on how strong the wind is blowing or how much light, you may even need to use a neutral density filter to slow the shutter speed down. I wish I had a picture, but I don't. All right, have fun in the sun. Ideally, you will making images close to sunrise or sunset when the sun is low in the sky. Place the flower between the camera and the sun with just a hint of the sun peeking out of the edge of the flower. And this is the effect that you get. It looks like a backlit photo. Now, be an artist.
Yeah.
So you say you wanted to do like different, what you say, doing different effects with
Oh, yeah, I like messing
Yeah.
with that.
well, I did the different ones. It was a free app on the, and I forgot the name of it, but I did the rose in that. This was a plant that's in the ginger family. You see that one's ginger and it has a cone?
Yeah.
I think they're red, and I did the different effects. But when you do different effects, make your pictures look a little different post-processing, and you get a different effect. You get an artistic effect, which is fun to do sometimes. Liven up your pictures with butterfly, bugs, insects, and bumblebees. So this summer I had a lot of pictures, a lot of flowers with a lot of the bugs out. So so I tried to make sure I took pictures that added some some type of bug or butterfly to them. And you have to get up close, very close. And to capture bees and other insects in their natural behaviors, give your flowers, it gives your flora photos intrigue and character. You have to be kind of quiet, sneak up on them. I want to think, I'm trying to remember what lens did I use. I did use the 300 lens with taking those pictures. Because, you know, if you get up too close, then they go on away. So
They go away.
they go away. And that's some more. This little fellow, he won't go anywhere. The one on the green right here. It was some type of, I don't know the name of it, but for some reason he wasn't afraid. And if you can see the antlers, try to find something unique. I'm gonna try to point out, can you see that, the little antennas?
Oh,
Out
yeah,
there.
sticking out
Yeah.
of the crepe myrtle.
I thought that was very unique. Yeah, so if you can find something unique to take, you know, as you add in different insects and all to it, you can do that. And this is my conclusion. Capturing flowers isn't difficult at all. Since they're static subjects, they don't change, they don't move. You can always keep shooting if you're not satisfied with your images. Try flower photography tips next time you go out. Have fun, surprise yourself with the results. It says now is the perfect time, but I did this during the summer. It's not, you don't have any flowers now, but next summer when the flowers start coming out, you know, get out and shoot flowers. And that concludes.
Good, thank you.